Tonight, I want to share a situation that happened to me earlier today, and I want to explain to you guys how I handle it, how I handled it. For the simple fact that I know that a lot of, I guess, targeted individuals, people who are, going through this targeting, this gang stalking situation, sometimes they have to face the law. All right. Now, let me give you the short version. If you've been watching my videos, you know that for a while I couldn't do anything without somebody or something trying to block me from doing the things that I wanted to do. I did not want to put my name on anything, but I needed a car. I didn't want to give my my employment information to anyone. I didn't want to give anyone my address, anything. I just didn't want to put my ID, my signature on anything because I was extremely paranoid because of what I was going through. This is why I thought it was important to talk about it, because I know a lot of people go through this on a regular basis, whether they think of themselves as a target or not. So, being that I didn't want to put anything under my name, I went ahead and put my car in my mom and my stepfather's name. All right. So now they gave us a 40-month lease, 4-year lease. So the car is not, we don't have to do anything with the car till next year. But my father, he received the letter in the mail, enticed him, he went over there. I didn't want to go. I wanted to go see about my brakes. So he's like, let's see what they're going to say anyway. Let him check out the car, and if they tell us what's wrong, we don't have to go pay someone to check it out. That was his, I don't know why he thought it was going to work out that way. My car is has low mileage. All right? It's under 10,000. So basically what happened is, like, when the dealer sees this car, he started thinking like how much money he could make from this car. The salesperson tells us one thing: you can take over this car, buy it as your own instead of leasing it, blah blah blah. You guys know the story. I'm going to be honest with you, I know nothing about purchasing a car. What I know is I listen very well. All right? That's my skill. I'm about to learn about purchasing a car, but anyway. So, I had to run out for food because you know how they try to wear you down by telling you stories, jokes, and all that, while the finance guy is in the back and you're waiting for him. And I just kept saying, let's just go. I'm fine with my car. The car, there's nothing wrong with it. If I have to go check out the brakes and pay for it, I have a card for a Firestone, whatever, right? So my mom is so, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to sit here and talk bad about her, but you can just sell her just about any dream, and she knows she's being taken advantage of, but she'd be like, okay. When it's not even her money, okay? So she's like, let's just listen. So, okay, so my stepfather, he was, the dealer decided he was only going to put my stepfather in it this time. Blah, 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 blah. My mom and I, we ran to get food, came back. Stepfather was signing a whole bunch of papers, and I'm getting confused because the sales guy saying nothing changes. He said everything remains the same. The only thing is your payments will go towards you owning the car now instead of you leasing the car. All right. I'm still thinking, right? And into the back of my mind, I'm saying I'm going to peep game later on. So when we came out, he said something about we're paying double instead of the $9,999 that my car was going to be worth next year when I take the car back. I'm still not hearing them, but I'm not fussing. Mainly because the car wasn't in my name. So, all right. We wanted the payments to be lower. That didn't happen. That's what they promised. Payments are not lower. In fact, they was trying to sell us a warranty that was going to take us over the payments that we're currently making. So right there off the back, the deal is not good. I was annoyed, so I'm like, let me go stand outside. They were almost finished. So I'm out there, and my stepfather comes out with a temporary plates. He said, the guy said, go turn in your plates to the dealer and use these and blah, blah, blah. And I said, wait a minute. I thought everything was supposed to remain the same way. My stepfather, he's like looking, he's 74, 374, but I think my mom wore him down. He's acting way older than that. And he just smiles for everything, poor thing. So now I'm like, all right, you know what? It's done. Let's go. Get in the car. We've been there since like maybe me. I've been there since like 10 o'clock in the morning. It was past like 2:30. And that's what they were doing on purpose, to wear you down where you stand there and just sign papers while they are telling you jokes and stories that have nothing to do with either the purchase or you. So I take the temporary place to put in my car, and I'm walking away, and I'm going to my car, and it's like a force pulled me back into the building. I said, no. They just took advantage of this guy because he's a senior citizen, and it just didn't feel right. Now, keep this in mind. I am not a confrontational person. I'd rather just let it go and say it is what it is. But it just didn't feel right because I knew they were taking advantage of him. And because we left him alone. And not only because we left him alone, he probably saw two women and they don't know what they're talking about. So now, I go back in and I ask the guy 2 questions. We're purchasing the car for the value of the car for this year. But if we would have came back when the 4-month lease was up, we would have purchased the car for the price that it would be next year. The guy says, yeah. So I just turn around and I say to my mom, Mom, I don't know, we're going to do something about it because I feel that my stepfather just got taken. So when the guy hears this, we go in the office and he tries to run the numbers by me. Again, I don't know anything about purchasing a car. I haven't done my homework. I tried to understand it. I need more patience, blah, blah, blah. It's not rocket science. I know that if I sat down and learned it just like I learned other things, I would know exactly how it is. But I do know that these guys should earn something, money. They're going to put some extra money, but they put over $10,000 on that car. So now instead of me, the car initially, I think it was about $23,000. We've been paying for 3 years, over $400 a month. All right. And he's going to tell us that the car is worth $17,000 because that's what's left over from what we owe on the car. So I'm like, okay, so what's your price? What do you think this car was worth? He said $33,000. No, it was not. That's not no. So the car was $23,000. So then this other guy steps in the room while the finance guy, he's running the numbers for me and explaining things to me. Hey, it's John. His name is John. John, do you need help? And I said, you don't need no help. We just talking. You're acting like we're about to jump him. That's what I said. And I wasn't angry, just to let you know. I wasn't angry. I was disgusted because I know they were taking advantage of this man. So I said to the finance guy, I said, what kind of discounts do you have for a senior citizen? What kind of discounts do you have for a veteran? Because he was in the Army for over 20 years. He said, well, we don't, he had a couple minutes to think, and then he came up with a slick answer. Well, we treat our customers the same way because that would be discrimination. No, it's not. So I said, okay, now you insult. I didn't say anything to him, but I'm thinking this dude is insulting my intelligence. I didn't say anything to him. He thought that would work. Now, let me just say that the guy that was running the numbers, the finance guy, he wasn't a demon, okay? He was not a demon. But he was working for one. So I ran the other guy out the room. I told him, no, I only want to listen to one person with confusing phrases in lingo at a time. He left. I'm pretty sure his manager was the one who sent him in there. So now the guy goes back to show me the numbers and trying to convince me of things. Again, I listen very well. So the manager walks in and says, hey, John, just void the whole thing and forget about it. No, let them get out of here. So I got up and I called them a effing racist. And I said, and you are only talking to us like that. 1, because we're black, and 2, because we're not a man. It was my mom and I in the office. My stepfather was sitting in the car. So I called him a racist, a effing racist, a couple of times. And I was walking out the room. I didn't even think of returning the temporary plates because he said it was voided. So now I said to him, I'm going to remember your face. Because you're only trying to act big and bad because we're women. And the way you're talking to us, we're customers. You should have been trying to please us. You know, a good customer experience. You were racist. That's why he was being super dismissive and disrespectful. Like we were nothing. So I'm walking out the room and I said, I'll remember your face. And then he said, what? Excuse me? All of a sudden, he's not a man. All of a sudden, he's excuse me? And he goes, call the cops right now. On my way out the door, I'm walking out anyways. So I'm outside taking my time. My mom was like, let's go. I said, I'm not running anywhere. I don't run from the cops. Ain't no criminal. So I sat there for a few minutes, about maybe 8 minutes. So I started driving out the long way out the parking lot because if the cops are coming, I'm going to talk to them because they're not going to be knocking on my door with lies that this guy told them. Now, this is the reason why I made this video. You guys got to keep in mind, the cops were not there. Whenever you have an altercation with anyone, and they call the cops, the police, right? Keep in mind that the cops are not there when all of this transpired. All right? They were not there. So what happened is the person who calls the cops on you usually are going to be very calm while they're explaining the situation to the cops. Okay, to the officers. They're going to be very calm. So you have to make sure you're not acting like a crazy person when that cop approaches you and try to hear your side of the story. Okay, because you start screaming and you call the cop as if the cop is on his or her side. The cops do not know, they do not know the situation, right? So you have to be calm. So what happened is when the cop came over, at first when the cop pulled up, the manager, the one who was acting like a racist demon, he ran to the cop car, but when the cops, one female officer, when she walked over to me, she walked over with the finance guy, the guy who was calm. And basically it went like this. I was putting the temporary plate on. He asked for it. You know, after a few words, he asked for it. I took it back off. I had the screwdriver in my hand. I saw that the officer looked a little nervous because I saw her from the corner of my eyes. I was looking at her. And though she looked a little nervous, so I put the screwdriver back in the car because I watch a lot of freaking videos and movies and I know how that works. So, you know, we don't know what officers face on a daily basis. So I put it in back in the trunk. I put my old plates back and I told the cop, I told the guy in the finance office, I apologized to him and I said full responsibility for my part because I did approach him in an aggressive manner. My voice was aggressive. It wasn't loud, but it was aggressive. And he wasn't disrespectful to me at all. His manager was. And the officer, I said, I'm sorry, officer. And the officer said, no, that's okay. She was very polite with me. And I told them both, God bless you. And they said, and you as well. And that was the end of that. Now, if I had left, then it would have been his lies against me who looked like I ran away. That's why when the officer came in the parking lot, I drove right back in the parking lot and waited for the officer to approach me and ask me questions. You have to be calm. You have to be smart. This person, again, I'm going to repeat it, is going to, when the officers get to them or him or her, they're going to be very calm and explain the situation as if you are the crazy one. Now, all you have to do, right, is act like the crazy one, and now you in handcuffs, in trouble, or some other BS. Do you understand? Now you have to be smart about it. Remember, the officers, the cops were not there when this all started. Your behavior is either going to trigger them to act aggressively, right? or your behavior is just going to keep it all cool. It's going to keep the cops, you know, the officers calm. Right? So what happens when we start acting up and showing out? We transfer our negative anger towards them. And I wasn't angry. I wasn't even angry when I was in the inside the office calling that guy a racist, a effing racist. I wasn't angry. I was disgusted because I know what he just did. He took advantage of that man, and I just didn't feel good about it. And I looked right in his eyes. If I'd have leaned over, that's how close we were, I would have kissed him while I was walking out the door. And I told him more than once, like 4 times, you are effing racist. And I bet you if it was a white man or a man, period, you would have been singing a different song. I just don't like it. It didn't feel right. It didn't sit well with me. I couldn't get in the car and just walked away with my tail between the legs. But he voided between my legs. He voided the whole contract. You know why he voided the contract? Because he knows that he was doing something crooked. He just thought that we wouldn't notice. All right? Man, today, I like who I am today. I'm still not confrontational. I don't like the drama. But I'm not going to sit there today and let people take advantage of me and the people around me. If I see something that I don't like, I'm going to say something. It's not about fighting. It's not about being angry. You know, it's about standing up for what's right. But you guys really remember, keep your cool. If you're facing any of these people and they call the cops on you and stuff like that, don't open your door and start acting like a crazy person. All right? Because you are the only one acting crazy, and then you're going to transfer that energy to the officers, and you're going to get everything hot, and then you're going to blame it on the cops and think you have nothing to do with it. All right? That's all I want to say in this video. I hope it makes sense to somebody. I'm trying not to edit too much of this video, so if I said things wrong, I apologize. And I'm not going to edit the video. I'm just going to upload it. Have a good one. Bye-bye.